just getting older. Soon enough, it'll be too late to act. Let's do it again. Let's ride on the waves of gold. California. I'll wait for your call, 'cause I wouldn't go on my own. Last night I was dreaming out loud. California sun was making my eyes dry. Can we still make it happen? It's worth a try. And I might keep on dreaming out loud. It's a beautiful life, staying under blue skies. Next year in the winter, let's give it a try. I'll keep on dreaming out loud tonight. Winter's started, and I can't seem to adapt. And somebody told me that you felt the same way since we went. Why won't you give me a call? We'll ride on those waves again. California. And I can wait through a storm, 'cause without you it wouldn't be the same. Last night I was dreaming out loud. California sun was making my eyes dry. Can we still make it happen? It's worth a try. Oh, and I might keep on dreaming out loud. It's a beautiful life, staying under blue skies. And next year in the winter, let's give it a try. I'll keep on dreaming out loud tonight. Yeah, I'll be dreaming out loud tonight. I'll keep on dreaming out loud tonight.
In the Far East, they have something that's called the Chinese bamboo tree. The Chinese bamboo tree takes 5 years to grow. They have to water and fertilize the ground where it is every day. And it doesn't break through the ground until the 5th year. But once it breaks through the ground, within 5 weeks, it grows 90 feet tall. Now the question is, does it grow 90 feet tall in 5 weeks or 5 years? The answer is obvious. It grows 90 feet tall in 5 years. Because at any time that person stopped watering and nurturing and fertilizing that tree, that bamboo tree would have died in the ground. You got to have faith, and that faith gives you patience.
Here we go. Welcome to Progress, Not Perfection. I'm Brent Daniels, Mr. TTP. I'm excited about today because I've been doing this 18 years, right? And what I'm about to tell you is going to save you so much time and so much heartache and so much headache and so much planning and so many, getting into the weeds with ideas and not really getting into the weeds of providing value to property owners and to cash buyers and to yourself and your business and the people that work for you. So let me break this down. All right. The first thing here is, can we get into the white pad here, Matt? Okay, we are stuck here, guys. Something is technically wrong. Here we go. Okay. All right, right here. All right, we've all seen this, the cash flow quadrant. All right. We've got employee, self-employed, business owner, and investor. We have all grown up on this. This has been around since the 90s. This has been around since Robert Kiyosaki really taught us what the hell financial literacy is, right? But what does that mean for us? What does that mean for us building a wholesaling business? What does that mean for us being investors? What does that mean for us, as we're starting out in this business? If we're starting this part-time, if we're working as an employee right now, what does that mean? All right. So let me break this down for you, because I'll show you the pitfalls of what happens in this business and how to avoid them as you're building this, so that you can just take a straight path to that beautiful lower right-hand box that says I for investor. All right. So we start out, typically, we're going to start out this business as an employee, right? We're right here. We're living here as an employee. And unless we start this business and we just get a real estate license, or we start as self-employed and we're like, you know what, we're going to burn the bridge. We're going to burn the boats, and we're going to just be self-employed. We're just going to go out there and we're going to eat what we kill, right? And on this side, on this left side, there's three things that you really, really, really have to watch for. And that is doubt, disappointment, and distraction. I am telling you that those three things kill more people than anything else as you're getting started, especially if you're coming from a different industry, especially if you don't have an incredible amount of real estate experience or a family that comes from real estate. Those three things, doubt, disappointment, and distraction, are the ones to recognize, because we can't get over to the other side. We can't get to the business owner and investor side without dealing with doubt, disappointment, and distraction. Let's look at this. All right. Number one is this: doubt. Doubt in yourself. It's the hugest one. Can I do this? I see other people being successful, but can I do this? Doubt in the economy. Well, maybe it's just not the right time right now. I hear things are just kind of crashing. I don't know if if this is the right time to get into real estate. Your market. Well, I live in too small of a town, or, it's too saturated. There's too many other people doing this. Can I actually do this? I know that people can do it in Phoenix, and they can do it in Dallas, and they can do it in San Diego, and they can do it in St. Louis. They can do it in Tampa, but can they do it here in Dayton, Ohio? Right? Doubt in the market. And then doubt coming from outside opinions. I can't tell you, this one right here, the doubt from outside opinions is strong. Because when you start having conversations with people about being a real estate investor, being a real estate wholesaler, if you say the word real estate wholesaler to most people, it's just not common language. So they're just going to be like, what are you talking about? They're going to look at you with dead eyes. And then all of a sudden they're like, well, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. You get excited about all sorts of other things, but we'll see. So then the doubt starts creeping in. Don't let it. We can't be business owners and investors if we let the doubt stop us. We need to have concrete posture. We need to stand tall. We need to be brave. We need to have that courage. We need to have that confidence. We need to have that certainty that we can go out every single day and determine the outcome of our financial future. It's all in putting in the work. It's all the law of cause and effect. Right? The more that you go out there, the more that you provide value to the marketplace, the more you will be rewarded. It's the absolute fact. And that's on this side. That's on the left side of the cash flow quadrant, right? This is where we're trading time for money. We don't have the systems. We don't have everything kind of put into place yet. We don't have the experience to really go out there and build a really solid team. So we're trading our time for money. It's called earned income. And that's what's happening on the left side. And then you go down and then you got disappointment. And the fact is 99.5% of the people that you speak to that are in distress, they're going through foreclosure. They owe taxes. They owe property taxes. Sorry. They have judgments. The properties are run down. They just inherited this property. 99.5% of those people are going to tell you no. But that 0.5% will make you a fortune. That 0.5% is what you need to focus on. That 1 out of 200 people statistically nationwide, that's what you got to focus on. So you got to really watch what's happening with that disappointment, because if you let disappointment start dragging you down, if you let rejection start dragging you down, all of a sudden it's going to affect what you say in your mind. It's going to affect the affirmations, the negative affirmations that you're putting into your brain, which affects your subconscious, which then goes down into your conscious and affects what actions you take the next day. I can't tell you how many times, like, I woke up and I was like, I just don't feel like doing this. I just, I had too many people tell me no yesterday. I had somebody yell at me when I was getting started. Right. And I was like, you know what? This is just, there's got to be an easier way. I hear everybody's out there saying that there's easier ways. There's ads on Facebook. There's ads on YouTube. Oh, there's an easier way. There's an easier way. Then I tried them all. I got nowhere, because you got to put in the work. But the beautiful thing about putting in the work is it builds the skills. When you build the skills, that is something that can't be taken away from you. That's called change. You're a different person when you have different skills. That's what's so incredible about it. That's what's so incredible about our beautiful brains, is we can literally decide who we want to be. We become what we think about. But we can't be thinking about negative things all the time. We can't be thinking about the 99.5% rejection that we go through. We have to think about the 0.5% of people that'll do business with us. Because that 0.5% is worth 10,000, 15,000, 25,000, 30,000 every single time. And then we just understand it's a numbers game, right? And the last one is the toughest one, distraction. Holy cow, distraction. Being busy versus productive, right? Going out there and you're like, oh, I'm going to figure out everything there is to know about putting together a logo and doing a business card and setting up a website and figuring out what my CRM is going to be like and all these things. It's a distraction. It's a total distraction. You know what else is? Comparison. Comparing yourself to others. And the worst one is comparing yourself to where you think you already should be without doing the work. That's crazy. Knock that hallucination out of your mind, because it'll distract you. When you're looking at the goal, it's not about the goal. It's about what you're doing to get to the goal. It's the daily action that you take every single day. It's the 5 calls that you make today when you've never made a call before. It's the one property that you see is run down, but you see that people live there, and you go and you knock on the door and have a quality conversation with them and see if you can help them out. All these little wins. That's what stacks up every single day. That's what keeps us from being distracted. What else? You know what's the biggest distraction? The biggest of all time is education. It is. We feel good. We feel good learning. We feel good. We feel great learning new things. I can't tell you how many. I do a welcome call with every single person that joins my mentorship program. Over thousands, a couple thousand. Every single time. And people say, oh, I've been looking at this for a year, 2 years, 3 years. I've just been kind of in education, kind of, doing my due diligence, getting data collection. Right. And then they start and boom, they're off and running. I'm just telling you, the education, watch it. It's a slippery slope, because education needs to come from the results that you get from taking action, not just from theory. Right. Action plus results equals education. Not education plus action equals results. It's a totally different mind, right? And that's how you get that's how you get on this side of the cash flow quadrant, the E and the S. That's how you build this side up. And then to get to a business owner requires focus. It requires focus. So let's break that down. And I'm telling you guys, this has taken me 18 years to figure out. I'm telling you, well, not quite, but about 15. And being able to focus on these 3 things. Focus on what you're doing right now. Don't focus about the last call. Don't focus about what happened last week. Don't focus about that time that you tried something and failed, right? You tried out for the basketball team and they cut you, right? You wanted to be first chair on the violin and you just couldn't make it, and it's sitting with you. The person that rejected you from going out on a date or dating you or dumped you or whatever else, sitting in your mind. Focusing on people that you went to high school or college with and thinking about, I'm going to show them, right? All these crazy different things that we focus on all the time, when if we just focus on putting our best effort in right now, we win. Everything else comes from that. Focus on the present. The second one is focus on what you can control. You want to have a powerful exercise? Put whatever goal or whatever question or whatever challenge there is at the top of a piece of paper, at the top of it, and then write down the things that you can actually control to do something about it. For real. It's the most powerful mind exercise ever. Question, answer, answer, answer. The thing is, most people don't think. I didn't. I was like, well, I'll just kind of figure it out. If you just sit down for 10, 15 minutes a day and write at the top of the page a question or a challenge and then respond to it and then come up with ideas on what you can actually control. What are you worried about? Write down what you can control about it. And then you're going to understand, and you can look at it. Psychologists have done this for years and years and years, and they look at all the things that you can that people worry about. And I think like 85% of them are things outside of our control. It's wild. So focus on the 15% of the stuff that you can control, right? And then the last one, and I touched on it before, but focus on the process, not the outcome. Focus on the process, not the outcome. I'm telling you, that's what it's difficult. I love goals. I love writing down the goals. I love thinking about the goals. I love pontificating about the goals. But it's how do you get there? What's the process? And how are you going to do it? And then all of a sudden you hit those goals, and then you're like, oh, I need more goals. It always moves back. The goalpost always moves back. So it's the process that we enjoy. And I'll tell you, just from going through and door knocking 15,000 properties and cold calling and talking to over 45,000 property owners, I am telling you, I look back on it fondly because I could get on the phone right now and feel absolutely comfortable, absolutely confident. I know that I've got the skills to be able to do this business. I know, and with that confidence, it bleeds into the whole entire company. It bleeds into the team. And then all of a sudden, everybody else feels more confident. And that's why it's really important that you stay in that self-employed part, right? That S part, till you really build the skills. Because when you leverage other people's skills right off the bat and just build a business, you don't have the certainty and confidence to understand what's going on. You might think you do. And maybe you have a ton of extra experience from different businesses, and that'll help. But if you're just getting into this, if this is your first real adventure into being an entrepreneur, fall in love with the grind. Fall in love with hustle season. I'm telling you, it's going to just change everything in your business. And you're going to have a long, productive, profitable business if you do so. All right? So that's focus. The last one here is to go from a business owner to an investor is discipline. That's where this really kicks off. Discipline. And this is exciting, right? Because there's only two parts to this. You get to choose two parts of being of discipline with your finances, with the money that you have, with all of that money that you made from building the business, all the profits that you made from doing the deals that you're out there. You get to choose. Do you want to take or give? Or give? Are you going to be a consumer or are you going to be an investor? Consumer or investor? I guess you could throw saver in there. I guess you could do that. But at some point, you got to do something with that money. We all know what inflation does to cash, right? So you consumer or an investor? And I'm just telling you, the earlier that you start investing in assets, the faster and more wealth you build. That's just math. And so really look at it. Okay, look at the process. I'm starting out. I'm doing this part-time. How do I get started? Well, you have to get through the doubt, disappointment, and distraction, right? And then you start really focusing and being an entrepreneur and being self-employed, right? You don't have a business yet, but it's you. It's you, maybe a VA, something like that, and you're really building your business and you're really going out there and you're hustling. And then once you have the proof, which is the income that you can go out there and provide value to the marketplace, then you start bringing other people in that share in your vision, that want to help you. They want to give you their time for the environment, for the experience, and obviously for the income. And then you build your business. But don't go there too fast. Don't go there too fast. Fall in love with the grind. I'm telling you, you're going to be so thankful. because you're going to keep a lot more money and you're going to have a lot more, you're going to have a solid foundation for your business and everybody's going to respect you in your business. And then from there, are you going to consume or invest? Are you going to build wealth? Or are you going to go out there for entertainment or for fancy things or nice things or things that you never had growing up? I get it. I've been there. I went bananas. It was awesome. I'm not going to tell you that it's not. But then what's not awesome is when you run out of money and you don't have any assets. When you go out there and you're consuming so much and focus on your attention on consuming things that you're not focused on your business and growing your wealth. And being really financially literate is building your wealth, because that's gangster. That's where the real winners play, is buying assets and growing them and staying and delaying that gratification. Got it? Love you. Sorry for the glitch. The start in the beginning here is a little bit rocky, but we are rocking and rolling. Remember, 3 parts of the show. Number 1, we celebrate. I want to know what you've done this week. I want to know what success that you've had this week, what little wins or big wins. We want to ring this victory bell right here at least 10 times during the show. All right. Number 2 is squatting up in the comments section. Make sure that you're squatting up. Make sure that you're telling everybody where you're doing business, because this is like your networking for the day. This is you connecting, right? And it feels good. You're not in a room and you're kind of like figuring it out and there's not all the different stimuli. This is just people connecting here with a really positive attitude. And be positive. Number 3, we answer questions. So if you have questions about this business, then put them in the comments. I'd love to answer them. That's why we're here. All right. So let's crack this thing open. I love you all. Thank you for being on here. It is an absolute honor and privilege to be able to speak with you guys and be here. So I love this business and I want you to be as successful as fast as possible. So let's get cracking. Kim. Hey, Brett. I taught a deal was done and stayed with it and got a $5,000 contract out of it. $3,000 earnest money. Come on, Kim. There we go. I love it. Stayed in it, got a $5,000 contract with $3,000 earnest money. Kim, that is amazing. Now, remember, get it closed. Count the money when it's in your account. Count the money when it's closed. Get that thing closed as soon as possible. You need to over communicate with your cash buyers right now. You need to really, really over communicate. Make sure that they've got everything streamlined so that the closing goes as smooth as possible. So don't just, you have to play both sides as a wholesaler. It's a unique position. You have to talk to the seller, make sure that they're getting everything over to title and they're doing their part. And then you got to make sure that the buyer's staying in the saddle and not getting wiggly, right? So congratulations, Kim. That's amazing. Ralph, no more millionaire before 30. No, on Thursdays, I'm actually, I go live with my, with the coaching program. And so just pouring more into there. We're getting more involved in really breaking down deals. Ryan Zolan, I've invited him to keep the show going. And I think he will, which will be absolutely incredible because he's got some incredible minds that he wants to talk to and interview and bring on and inspire. So I'll let you know on that. Can you run for president? No, I'll tell you what, Brandon, I love you. You are an incredible support to this channel and to everybody in here. If you guys don't know Brandon, make sure that you connect with Brandon. But that sounds like the worst job ever. HBR Properties. Well, I'd love to know who it is, but HBR, yes, just signed up. Let's go. Well, let's do it. Yeah. All right. We'll count that. I'm excited. If I have to choose one starting off, which would you go? I would go PropStream. Yeah. Deal Machine is fantastic and it's a great driving for dollars, but PropStream, you're going to be able to do a lot more comping and pulling other lists. So if the budget is just for those, I would go with PropStream. And that's ttpdata.com, guys. ttpdata.com. There you go. Steven, great. Thank you. I was wondering if you guys would recommend I start wholesaling without knowing the terminology, or if I should study it first. Steven, I would challenge you that you know the terminology. I really would. You understand what a house is. You understand what a property owner is. I mean, from a terminology standpoint, if you're running across things that you don't really understand, one, bring them to the show, but two, I mean, that's a Google search away. You know what I mean? I don't want anything stopping you from taking action. This is one of those distractions, right? That's what I'm talking about. The 3Ds in distraction there. The education part is like quicksand. Like quicksand. That's why I say the dumbest people make the most money in this. And I don't mean like intelligence. I just mean that they're not over educating themselves. They're going and letting the action be their education. So get out there today, Stephen. Find an ugly house. Take that address. Go to batchskiptracing.com. Get the phone number. Call them up and ask them if they would consider an offer on their property. And if you want to know, if you really want to get nitty gritty in the script, you can go to ttpinsider.com, and we have a ton of resources, Stephen. ttpinsider.com. Download all the stuff in there, and that'll get you up to date today, and you're off and running. But I wouldn't stop. I would just have that stuff running. I would listen to the Wholesaling Inc. podcast for sure every day in your car. And I would just go out there, drive for dollars, find ugly houses, or start pulling lists from batch leads or PropStream. Andre. Yes, I love this. See, this is the dichotomy, right? Do I need to learn all the terminology, or do I just go? And Andre is here. I made my first 10 calls yesterday in Houston. Have no idea what I'm doing. I'm ringing it for that. Come on. That is incredible, Andre. Listen, most people will watch a lot of videos, listen to a lot of podcasts, not make a single call, or they'll make a call and stop because maybe it wasn't a good call, or maybe somebody was mean to them, or they didn't get a hold of anybody, or whatever else, and then they stop. Don't do that. Be like Andre. Hashtag be like Andre. Just make the calls. Just fail forward. Imperfect action. It's right here. Progress, not perfection. That's the whole show. You know what I mean? That's the difference between people that are superstars and the people that, are just getting an education in this business. The superstar, understand, imperfect action wins. Imperfect action, progress, not perfection. Same thing. Congratulations, Andre. That makes me so happy. That's incredible. Chris, hello from Indianapolis. Do you have a cash for keys agreement, a renovate your house, sell, and split the profits agreement? That is incredible. We should in TTP Insider, and I'll work on that, Chris. What I would say until we do is cash for keys. I would simply talk to a closing attorney, or in Indianapolis, I think you've got title companies. I could be wrong, but I would just ask them for what they want for a cash for keys agreement. We just write it literally on a Word document. And I don't want to give that to you because I'll get something approved by our attorney and put it up there. But we have a lot of other contracts that are up there in TTP Insider that you can download. Renovate your house, sell, and split the profits agreement. I've never done that, Chris. I've never, ever done that ever. I think it's an interesting strategy. I think that novations without going in there is a lot cleaner. Without going in and doing huge renovations is a lot cleaner. And Todd Toback is actively teaching my team how to do that. But I don't have experience there. So I could certainly work on that and get it in there. Thanks for the suggestions. Anthony, how do you find the homeowner of someone's house when they don't have a mailbox or address on Google Maps? What you would want to do, Anthony, is just go to your property tax assessor site and plug in that address and pull it that way. You can get it very easily from Deal Machine or PropStream or literally in Batch Leads. I mean, all of those give you free trials so that you could put it in there and decide if you want to use any one of those tools. Just make sure you use the coupon code TTP on those so that you get the discount if you do decide that you want them to charge your card and move forward. But if you just want it free, just type in Google tax assessor and plug in the address. Edwin, hey Brent, you guys are amazing. How many contracts signed would you say actually close? I heard 1 out of 10 contracts signed actually close. Do you find this to be true? If anybody giving you the advice of 1 out of 10, you need to run away from that person as fast as possible. That's right. Hunter's laughing over here. I'm telling you, 1 out of 10 close. That means you're tying up 9 properties that you can't close. That is terrifying. That is so terrifying. That is a terrible way to do business. If you lock up a deal, you should have every intention to get that deal closed and every ability to have that deal closed, right? This goes back to the whole thing of people just writing contracts, locking up properties and not being able to do the deal just to see if they can beat up the seller later. You will get caught. They will, people will, let's see. I don't know if it's going to be a lawsuit. I don't know if it's going to be, they're going to put more restrictions on what we do, but that's exactly why they do, is because people are tying up these properties with property owners, giving them whatever they want, trying to beat them up on price and not letting them out of the contract. It's gross. Don't do business like that. It should be 9 out of 10, maybe 10 out of 10. But you should be, if you lock up a deal, you should close that deal for sure. Don't leave that seller hanging. That's just bad service. That's just, you're doing the opposite of providing value when you use that strategy. What you're doing is you're just you're making the whole industry look bad, and 2, you're not profitable. It's just a waste of time. You're just wasting your time hoping you can get 1 out of 10. Don't do it. Great question. Business lady. I love you, business lady. How do you find leads? Listen, 6 to 10% of the real estate market is in distress at all times. Here, I'll write a list here, business lady, of some that I want you to go after. Okay. I turned it off. There we go. Number 1, ugly houses. Ugly houses. How do you find ugly houses? You just look for ugly houses. Number 2, vacant. Is this not working, Matt? What is going on today? Oh, ugly houses, vacant properties. I want you to get property owners, absentee owners, or tired landlords. These are people that don't live in the property. It's been a rental for them for a while. They've owned it at least 7 years, and they were built before 1990. Okay. And the same goes for multifamily, guys. You can go for multifamily, duplex, triplex, fourplexes, right? So you've got ugly houses, you've got vacant houses, you've got tired landlords. And you could put in there pre-foreclosures if you want. Pre-foreclosures there. They're much tougher, to be honest. Everybody loves, we do a video on pre-foreclosures. It goes bananas. It's wild. I think that everybody's just kind of like, oh, pre-foreclosures, they have to sell. They're the most desperate. 90% of them get a loan modification. 90%. You could Google it. 90% get a loan modification, and they get bombarded with calls from the bank, realtors, and other investors. So the best bet with that business lady is go knock on their door. Go knock on the door. But that's the best way. I mean, literally, you can start this business so simply. The same way that I did my first 20 deals. The first way that I got my first deal, and I was like, oh my gosh, this absolutely works. You find an ugly house and you have a quality conversation with the property owner. That's it. That's it. That's how you start it. There's a lot of power in calling real estate agents and having good relationships with them and see if they have anything that's coming onto the market that's in rough shape. That's what you want. You want really rough properties, right? Because will you put up, Matt, are you able to put up on the screen the price, convenience, and speed? Okay. And really focus on this, business lady. This is the key to this business. This graphic we're about to show you right now is really, really, really important. Okay. Right here, the sellers only get 2. So if they want, every time you're speaking with a property owner, they get there's 3 parts that you have to have a conversation about: speed, convenience, price. Speed, convenience, price. All right. Speed and convenience equals wholesale. That's typically ugly properties that people just want to get rid of. If they want price, but they want the convenience, they don't want to really deal with anything. It's something called an ovation. And we're learning that. This is kind of newer. It's not newer. It's been around forever, but it's a newer strategy. And then for speed and price, you can go creative, or they should list it on the market for speed and price. And creative really covers all of them. It really does. I mean, depending on the quality of the property, you could do something creative with everything. But speed, convenience, price, and they only get 2. They only get 2. The market from 2020 to April 2022, they were getting all 3: speed, convenience, and price. That's over. It was a very unique time in the real estate world, in the real estate market. And now it's over. Now we get into a more normalized market, and they get 2 out of those 3. So you really have to educate people, because a lot of them still expect to get 3 out of 3, and it's just not going to happen. And then that goes into, are they motivated? Are they truly motivated to sell their property? If they made the decision that they are done with this property, and if they're just kind of standing back and they're kind of stiff arming you, it's really interesting. We started yesterday. Chad in our group. Chad's my junior acquisition manager. He does all the lead follow-up when we got a shortened timeline and somebody's ready to make a decision. Ryan goes on the appointment, starts taking over the follow-up, and closes the deal. And he was making calls 2 hours a day. We do a deal desk in the mentorship, and they he was making his calls and having these conversations with all these people that were just unmotivated, but they were like text leads that we had just gotten in. So we really didn't know much about them. And I was like, ask this question. If you don't sell your property for this price, whatever it is, 60,000, 70,000, 80,000, what's your plans with the property? What are you going to do with the property? If you can't get this price, what's your plans with the property? I've had people go, well, I'll just lower the price until I sell it. Then why wait? Right? Ask that question. It is a powerful, powerful question. I posted it today in the Wholesaling Inc. Facebook group. If you have not joined the Wholesaling Inc. Facebook group, make sure you join that Wholesaling Inc. Facebook group. All right. And we'll put a picture of that up in a second. What was that question? 3-parter. Oh, there it is. There's the Wholesaling Inc. You can see we've got incredible. There's the question right there. Anyway, you guys get it. Join it. It's incredible. I'll see you in there. 3-part. Teresa in the house. Brent, I feel like today's live is a good reflection of my current situation, LOL. I was working with somebody in the New York market. She is great, but unfortunately, our mentorship fell through because she's dealing with some life stuff right now. I feel like I'm back at square one, but I'm not giving up on this. Any tips on effectively generating leads for free? I'm going to reach out to agents and virtually drive in Florida and Atlanta market right now. That's perfect. That's perfect. Now, Teresa, you need to look in your schedule, have an honest, hard look in your schedule and time block when you're going to make these calls. Wait, and what agents are you going to call? What agents are you going to call? Where's their list? Are you going to use a dialer? Are you going to hand dial? You understand you could get the ugly houses from virtually driving for dollars. That's easy, right? Then get their phone number and call them. Huzzah! That's it. But you have to put it into your schedule, and it has to be sacred. It has to be exciting. It has to get your blood going. You know what I mean? You have to get at some point, we start out and we're real nervous, and then we get into a rhythm and we actually get energy from it. You actually get energy from having conversations with property owners. You get energy from building your skills and working on this little part, my tone of voice here, the way that I open it up, right? My initial first, the way that I open up these conversations, my vocal first impression, right? Like working on all these things is really, really, really exciting because when you get good, you get really profitable. And if you want to make money fast, you got to learn how to have conversations with people. You need to learn how to qualify people. You need to learn those skills, the communication skills. Some people would call it sales skills. Call it whatever you want. I think sales skills has like a weird stigma, but like look at all the things that are in our world. This camera, this rhinoceros, that screen, this pen, everything is sold by somebody. Everything is made. It is first has an idea, then it's made, and then it goes into production and sold. The selling part is everything. So build the skills of human communication. You're unstoppable. Well, it's not glamorous. What will the kids, what will that dude from high school think of me that's a doctor now? Who cares? Who cares? You're going to own so much real estate and be balling out. You're going to be out there hustling every single day. Stop worrying about the distractions of what other people are thinking about you and go take the actions right now. I say that because this part right here, I thought right away that I was a business owner. I thought immediately I was a business owner and I should have people working for me and I was entitled and I've got, I did good things when I was a self-employed. I'm going to go right to a business. And I did. I was a great real estate agent / investor. I was bidding down at the foreclosure auctions. I was flipping properties. I was doing it all. And then I opened up this big brokerage at 27 years old, opened up this big brokerage. And then the market crashed, lost everything, lost 5 houses, lost 2 cars, gave back 12 credit cards, business ones, personal ones, everything. I think I had the lowest credit score that you could possibly have, right? Because I didn't focus on what actually got me there. I didn't focus on actually building the skills. I was just like, oh, it's a great market and everything's going. But I was lulled into a sense of confidence by a good market. That's why as this is transitioning, if you're just getting in right now, it's the perfect time because you're not having that tailwind of what just happened the last 2 years where anybody could lock up anything and make a fortune with hedge funds, with cash buyers that were buying everything, right? It's different now. You're going to be grizzled. You're going to be hardened. You're going to be unstoppable. It's going to be like you went to war and you're just tougher and you're smarter and you make better decisions. I didn't. I was young. And I thought, I had the Mercedes, I had the Range Rover, the big house, yeah. Everything was good, baby. I'll just be a business owner. I'll just kick it. I'll just hire people. I'll leverage it. Burn. Down. I can't tell you how many people that's happened to. There's probably people on here right now that's happened to. Stay in the pocket of being that self-employed, right? I was looking at it and I was like, okay, I make this analogy of like Michael Jordan, right? Was self-employed and then, he built his brand and now he's a business owner and investor, right? But I didn't realize that basketball and NFL and MLB players are actually employees. Did you know that? They're employed. They're employees. They have a union, the whole thing. And I was like, well, what athlete isn't? Self-employed is like Tiger Woods. It's like golfers and tennis players. And it's like The Rock in wrestling, right? The Rock was an actor, independent contractor, self-employed, right? Self-employed, going out there doing the thing. And then he created a tequila company. But you can't create the tequila company if he wasn't self-employed, blowing up his skills and his brand and everything that he's doing. Now, it's a weird analogy when it comes to real estate, but I think that there's truth there. The people that grind and grind and grind and grind and grind as an independent contractor, as a self-employed person, go the furthest, the fastest. Just telling you. And they're long lasting. So I think that we should take pride in the work, take pride in the grind. Let's normalize that. Audrey. What works for me is the more no's I get is closer to the yes. I recently got my first deal after 3 months through agent outreach and made a 10K assignment. Audrey, my man, you were incredible. Come on. That is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. $10,000. And by the way, that 3 months is just, you're building it up, right? I talked to Jamil and I talked about this before, but I think that this is really important to know in the structure that you're doing, because what Audrey's doing is he's building what is called a center of influence. All right. Center of influence. And these are your referral partners, right? Referrals. And this is incredible. And if you're starting out in this business, you need to build this and you need to focus on having this be 30 people. Because what happens with this is you've got agents, you've got other investors, you got family, friends, you got friends, you got all these people. You just have a reputation that people bring you deals. You get all those. You get 30 people to send you 1 to 3 deals a year, and you average $15,000 a deal, and you do, let's call it 50 deals. 50 deals at, where's my calculator on this thing? 50 deals. Oh, all right, try now. Oh my gosh. Get out of here. You got 50 deals times $15,000. Oh, shoot. Clear. $15,000. $750,000 with zero overhead. With zero overhead. $750,000. That's bananas. That's absolutely bananas. And your overhead is nothing? It's just you? Could you do 50 deals yourself? Absolutely. Could you do it with an assistant? Sure. Make it a little easier. Could you do it with 2 people? Great. You pay them $100,000 each. And then you make $500,000 after whatever ancillary. Audrey, you're on the right path. I'm telling you, everybody should be pushing to find 30 people that are going to refer them 1 to 3 deals every single year. It's wildly profitable. Frederick, yesterday it implied that asking for a 10K or higher assignment fee is unreasonable, not practical, and 1 to 3 should be normal price for wholesale if the software we use is doing all the heavy lifting. Well, listen, I don't know any software that does the heavy lifting. At some point, you're going to have a conversation with a property owner. And I would not do business if I only made 1 to 3,000 a deal. It just wouldn't make sense. I mean, unless you're doing hundreds of deals, but you would need a lot of staff for that. So I'd be curious, Frederick, if you were telling me about the technology, but I think that again is this whole thing. This is people selling you this. You can be here you could be right here without going through this first. You know what I mean? It's you don't build skills. If you don't build skills, you don't build a real business. What value do you provide? If technology does the heavy, let me explain something to you. When text blasting first came out, everybody was like, oh my gosh, people are doing a deal a day. I know guys that were doing a deal a day. They were sending 30,000 to 100,000 text messages a day. And then they had it filtered down and filtered down and filtered down. Guess what? Everybody found out. And everybody started doing it. And then those guys that were doing text blasting and doing a deal a day aren't doing any deals. They're not even in the business anymore. I know 7 of them. I know 7 businesses that built all their business off of that strategy, and they're all gone. And then you see people going into all other things. They're like, I'm a millionaire now. I'm going to show you how to be a millionaire. And then all of a sudden, oh, you know what I'm a real millionaire at? It's not real estate anymore. It's this other thing. Build the skills. It's long lasting. It's going to be a grind. But I wish, is there a way that we can play that video, Matt, with it actually working or no? Let me play this just real quick. It's literally a minute and it's going to really put the point in. Check this out. I love this. Les Brown absolutely crushes this. This has been in my mind for probably 15 years.
In the Far East, they have something that's called The Chinese bamboo tree. The Chinese bamboo tree takes 5 years to grow. They have to water and fertilize the ground where it is every day. And it doesn't break through the ground until the 5th year. But once it breaks through the ground, within 5 weeks, it grows 90 feet tall. Now the question is, does it grow 90 feet tall in 5 weeks or 5 years? The answer is obvious. It grows 90 feet tall in 5 years. Because at any time that person stopped watering and nurturing and fertilizing that tree, that bamboo tree would have died in the ground. You got to have faith, and that faith gives you patience.
Oh, man. I love that. 5 years. If it takes you 5 years to get to the point where you've got $1 million company, are you going to be mad? I just see a lot of people that are shooting stars that go pew, and they build these businesses and they show these checks and they're doing all these things. And then you check on them 2 years, 3 years, 4 years later, and they're gone. They're off on something else. I've been doing this 18 years. I recognize patterns. I understand losing it all. I understand that whole part. I understand growing that and showing it and being loud and doing all that part. I get it. But I'm just saying 5 years to build this reputation, to get 30 people that'll refer you 1 to 3 deals a year, you're set for life. There you go. Real estate riches in the house. I just locked up a deal this week and have 2 closing at the end of the month. Come on. That is incredible. That is incredible. Guys, hit that like button if you're getting value out of this, and to celebrate everybody that has had success this week. Hit that like button. Certainly, if you are not subscribed and you feel like this channel is going to get you closer to your goals, keep you focused, give you the instruction that you're looking for, that you finally found, hit that subscribe button, guys. Hit that subscribe. We're not the biggest channel, but we're the most quality channel when it comes to the audience, without a doubt. It's not even close. I got a creative deal locked up today. Ryan, here we go. Awesome. Ryan, I need to learn more. Come on. You have got me interested, right? I need to know more. Let us know what that creative deal looks like. Chris, hi, Brent. For follow-up, if someone starts out as a hot lead and then cools off quickly, but they need to sell because of a pending event, how often should I be contacting them? Daily, weekly, pop-ins? Perfect, Chris. Yes. Every single day. Here's the thing. You will not lose deals from excess follow-up. You won't. If people ghost you or whatever because you're responding or they're not responding to you or whatever else, it's because either they didn't really want to sell or they decided to work with somebody else that they know, or somebody out-reported you. You know what I mean? But what I would do, Chris, is just hit them right between the eyes. Hey, listen, I don't want to bug you. I really don't want to bug you. You know, we had a really good conversation about your property, and I just wanted to see if you still want to move forward with reviewing an offer with me. You know, if not, I completely understand. Just let me know either way. I love that line. Let me know either way, because it gives them permission to say no. It gives them permission to say, you know what, I took care of it. You know what, I'll respond. You know what, I'll stop this right now. Or they'll come back to you and be like, actually, you know, this has happened and that's happened and this and that. And don't be hot leads feel so amazing. But until you have it locked up under contract, getting ready to close, that's when you get excited. Keep your emotions here. Keep your emotions here. Because emotions are the biggest liability. The biggest expense that we have as real estate entrepreneurs are our emotions, without a doubt. You know what I'm saying? Get excited for every part of the process. That's fine. Enthusiasm, perfect. But that's much different than, you know, going and just like, yeah, celebrating before things get closed. Because nothing's worse than you celebrate premature and it doesn't happen. Lewis, my man. There he is. He's in Novations. He's in the Rhino tribe. Finally did Driving for Dollars after having Deal Machine a couple years. Added 15 yesterday after driving by a property. A seller said to drive by 15. Let's count it. Let's go. Progress, not perfection. Imperfect action. Get out there. Absolutely incredible. Great work. Now call them. Brendan. Hey, Brent. Are most of your students using Mojo Dialer now or Batch Dialer? From what I understand, Mojo can interact with your cell phone currently using Batch, but notice a delay sometimes. No, Mojo. Yeah, most people are using Mojo. Batch Dialer it was having more delays. So I think it's kind of flip-flop there. But Mojo Dialer is what most people are using. Yep. When it's owner occupied, what do I tell the seller when I'm bringing buyers by? I have buyers that want to see the house, but working on what to tell the seller. That's awesome, Carlos. I love it. Tell them, hey, listen, there's going to be a circus. I'm going to bring everybody through. I'm going to bring my network of cash buyers through. I'm going to bring, if you have a contractor or inspector or whoever, partners, I'm going to bring them all through. If it's finance people, I'm going to bring them all through on Wednesday between 2 and 4. I'm going to get everybody in and I'm going to get everybody out, and then we'll be out of your hair. Sound good? That's what you tell them. And I would set it up on a specific time. Now, if you need to, you can just, if it's like one of those things where you went and you showed them and nobody wanted it, and then you got somebody later that wanted to, you just say, hey, we got to swing by again. We need to check out the property. And usually they're fine with it. I mean, they know one of the exit strategies in the purchase agreement is to be able to assign the contract to a different buyer. I actually have I have some buyer friends of mine, some other investor friends of mine that are interested in this property. So I'd like to bring them through. Why? Oh, I pre-sell these properties, or I might assign it to them. What does that mean? Nothing changes for you. They just take my place on the purchase agreement and they close the deal. Same time, same price. You making money? Yes. Yeah. I actually make money doing that. It's called an assignment fee. Do they want to sell their property or not? Did they agree to your price or not? Nothing changes. So remember, we're truth tellers, truth seekers. So tell them the truth. It's always been fine for us. And if they're really crazy, Carlos, then you're going to have to figure out if you could close it and just resell it once you own it. If you feel like you're like getting the vibes that they're like, oh, you're greedy or you're a greedy investor, as opposed to you are, oh, thank you so much for helping me with this deal. Then just get it closed, get transactional funding, raise some private funds and get a hard money loan. I mean, money's everywhere. So it shouldn't be a problem closing those deals. Facebook user. I'm a self-employed driving truck. Yep. Hay hauling has got so, Hay hauling has got so busy in South Texas, I haven't been putting in the time on my dream. Any tips on managing this? Yes. Listen, here's the deal. If you've got a ton of responsibilities and you got to trade your time for money right now to be able to do it, and you're just literally exhausted, keep, who is it? Oh, Darvin. Okay, good. Darvin, what's up, man? Make one call a day, brother. That's it. It's not forever. And then if you can, make 2 calls a day. Then make 3 calls a day. And then just add. The worst thing that you could do is freeze. Just don't freeze. Just go absolutely bananas. Go for it. Just do one little bit every single day so that you're not looking back and you're like, I haven't done anything in my real estate business for like a month, 6 weeks. Whatever. What's one more day? Oh, that is a slippery slope. It really is. So just make 1 call a day. And then 2, and then 3, and then just keep picking it up, and then find the energy. And then you'll find here's the thing. If mentally in your mind, you know that growing this business is your real your real not obligation. What do I want to say? Is what you're really going for. That is your goal, right? I don't know. Whatever. I have a word in there, but it's not coming out. Anyway, that is what you're going for, your ambition. There you go. And you really know that this is it. You have to put it in your head that that's your full-time job, and what you're doing right now is just a placeholder. It's just a placeholder. You know what? I'm going to just drive the trucks. I'm going to pay the bills. I'm going to do the things that I need to do, but this is temporary. All the exciting things are when I'm off the clock, when I'm pouring into this business. Richard closed 2 deals last week, made $11,000, submitted 1 offer, making 2 offers later today. Here we go. Absolutely incredible. Smash the like button. Smash the like button for Richard. Also, you know what time it is, Matt? It's time to pick. Which property would you rather own? Which house, and we've got some mansions today. Which one would you rather own? What is it? And just select here number 1. Here's number 1. Okay. Wow. Very stately, very chateau, very nice, very regal. Okay. There's number 1, everybody. Here's number 2. Oh, a little modern, a little bit more California. Yay. A little bit more, hey, sunshine, how you doing? Right? So number 1 or number 2? Select number 1. Let's see it again. Oh, my goodness. That is, I'll tell you what, that is impressive. You could literally get a Batman costume and go bananas. Or number 2, are you Batman or are you Iron Man? Right? Are you Batman or Iron Man today? Number 1 or number 2? I'm not going to tell you mine. Raphael, by the way, guys, I'm sure you miss him. Raphael is at home. He ate some weird fish or something. We miss you. We love you. And he'll be on here next week. So there you go. So we've got number 1 or number 2. Put your votes in the comments section, and we will see which one wins. All right. There you go. Yes, Omar. Omar, you have come to the right place, my brother. Any tips for cold calling off-market people? Matt, do you mind putting up the 7 steps to a successful call? Do you mind pulling that out so that we can give Omar straight to the dome so that he can be, so he can understand how to really put this thing together? Because there's 4 main parts of every conversation. And this is the 4 pillars of pre-qualifying every single property, every single time. Okay. Number 1 is the condition of the property. You need to find out about the condition of the property. And I like opening it up on that, Omar, and really getting into that, because it is, people are a lot more comfortable speaking about their property than they are about their emotions or their situation or their motivation. Right. Number 2 is their timeline. I think this is the most critical one. When do they want to transfer title? When do they want to sell this property? When do they want their cash instead of the property? Timeline is critical because that helps you determine what kind of lead follow-up that you do. Because if they're not going to sell it for years, probably not the best lead to focus on. All right. But if they want to sell it in the next couple of days, it's fantastic. Number 3 is the motivation. What is their problem, Omar? What is the problem that you can solve? Number 4, of course, is the price. You got to pull out what their expectations are. There is a bazillion videos on this channel that'll show you how to pull out the price. And then here comes the skills part. Okay. Number 5 is active listening. When people are talking to you and you're just silent on the other side, it sounds like an interrogation and not a conversation. So you need to say things like, yeah, sure. Yep. Okay. Got it. Yep. Active listening. It is powerful. Number 6 is confirm and approve. If you want to ruin a call, add friction. It's just terrible. So confirm and approve, confirm and approve, confirm and approve, confirm and approve. Sure. Oh, you want $1 million? Okay, great. Oh, you did this to the property? Okay. That's fantastic. Yes. Oh, no, I understand that I'm bugging you. I understand you get a ton of these calls. I know. I'm just really interested in your property. And I just, I wanted to see if you were ready to consider an offer on your property, right? Oh, I understand investors. Yeah, investors are super greedy. I totally understand. Whatever. You know what I mean? Answer a question and then ask a question back. And this is a great, great skill. Answer their question and then ask a question back. Right? How many deals have you done? Oh, I'm just starting out. I'm a small family business. I'm really excited to buy my first property. I would love it for it to be you. Are you looking to work with like a really big company? Answered and asked. Boom, right? That's your tips. The other one, do you have the how to sound confident on the phone? We'll find that one too for you, Omar. And you are going to be so set. By the way, all of these are downloads at TTP Insider, guys. TTPinsider.com. Ton of resources, incredible resources. Okay, here we go. 7 steps to be more confident on the phone. Number 1, your vocal first impression. You must have happy energy. You can't just, hey, this is Omar. Do you want to sell? No. Hey, this is Omar, right? Hey, I'm looking for Bob. Yeah, hi, Bob. My name is Omar. I know that this call is completely out of the blue, but I was actually calling about a property I believe you own on 1212 Banana Street. And then you go from there. Scripts all download, all in the downloads, TTP Insider. Do not get on social media or your email before you get on the phone. Do not do it. I am telling you, if you do it, something on there will make you angry. If you get angry, then you're not having happy energy. Don't do it. Number 3 is optimism. Somebody needs $25,000 of my help today, and I'm going to find them. Somebody needs it. Number 4 is stand up. Stand up. It increases your energy. Number 5, make sure that you're smiling. People can feel it. Number 6, again, we go to active listening. And number 7, do not be in a dark room. Do not be in a dark room. I'm telling you, you're like, you got all the blinds down. You're sitting down at the kitchen table making calls. I mean, 1, you're not going to be able to stay there a while. And 2, you're going to sound terrible. And anybody that has happy energy and is standing and is smiling and is actively listening is going to beat you like a drum. So do all those things. There you go. Now you're equipped, Omar. Here we go. Hey, how's it going? Who do we have here? It's a little bit muted. Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
What's your name?
It's so nice to meet you. I've been wholesaling 4 years now.
Awesome.
I'm pretty sure I probably got so much value from your channel. It's been so long. So I know back in the day when I started, I was just getting information from everywhere. So basically my question is, I've been wholesaling for the last 4 years.
Okay.
Full time. I do this all day, every day. But I kind of have just been in a spot where I really need to build a team. But I just keep running into roadblocks doing that. And so I really, I'm really trying to figure out how I could take my business to the next level, because I feel like I've been doing this forever and I see the same people who started at the same time I'm starting and they're surpassing me. And it's kind of a frustrating thing now,
Yep.
So I don't know.
I love it. So what market are you in?
I'm in the Carolinas, North Carolina, South Carolina.
Awesome. And tell me about business. Like this year, has it adjusted? You still doing things the same is business still good? Are you still, closing deals on a regular basis?
Yeah. So basically, sometimes I get wrapped up in opportunities that come to me. So I basically met an investor who offered me the opportunity to flip a house with him. And take the profits, and I did that, and it was the worst. What I've learned in this is the worst thing you can do is have a bad partnership. And so although I So yeah, I basically put my wholesale business on hold to go flip a
Uh-huh.
house. That was one of the worst mistakes I could have ever done.
And
But
listen, that's one of the conversations I have with absolutely everybody that I work with is you got to focus on ugly houses, big checks. If you want to start a flipping business, it's a whole different business, but it will destroy your wholesaling business if it's not running by itself. And you just, I mean, right? I mean, you're the perfect example of exactly that. And I get it. It's like you want to level up in the game. You're like, okay, I'm doing wholesale, but I want to get the big profits and I want to do the flips and learn that. And then I want to develop and own a bunch of properties and all that. But you got to build this machine first, right?
yeah.
So do you know how many leads you have in your pipeline?
So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I have so much. I feel like right now I know too much. And so knowing too much with just myself, it just like kind of like, okay, what do you do from here? And what do you do from here? So I have a bunch of leads in my pipeline, but now it's organizing those leads, making sure those leads gets followed up on. How do you keep track of all these leads? It's just very different. When I first started, I was hammering 5 people, and those are the 5 people. And then, so but now I have 100 people to hammer, and so I don't know, So I don't know.
Are you doing it? Are you doing it full time?
I am.
You could handle 100 leads.
I can't handle 100 leads.
You can handle all these things. You need to get like here's the rule: 30 grand, 3 straight months. 30 grand.
I have it written down, actually. I got 30 grand, 3 straight months. Then I have a 50,000, 3 straight months. So I have an entire plan to do this.
Yep.
I just don't know.
You could do it yourself. You could do it yourself. If you hire people right now, you're going to be so focused on training them, all the stuff that you've learned over the last 4 years, that no business will get done.
Well, that's what I'm doing now, but that's why I'm like, at least need a VA. I feel like at least someone to do the admin stuff, or you just think I just need to suck it up?
Suck it up.
Okay.
Right. Listen, revenue in first position, right? Until you've got that money coming in and that it's really going. Listen, right now, if I were to stand there, if I was in that room with you and I was like, okay, let's go through these 100 leads. I want you to call all of them and disqualify all the people that aren't real leads, right? Well, there's probably 10 in there. There's probably 10 really good ones that you should be focusing on. So you get rid of all the junk and you have the 10. What are you doing for lead generation?
I'm sorry, I live on a busy road, but I basically cold call, and I do some text messages as well.
Yourself?
Mm-hmm.
So you're making calls and doing the lead follow-up and going on the appointments and locking it up. I love it. You know what stopped you from, by the way, all those people that you see like with the big businesses and everything, most people make 10% profit. Okay. 10. When you get really good, you make 50%, but you have the ability to go 100% to you right now. And so you're going to be making more. I'm telling you, you will net more to your bottom line, to your lifestyle, to you building wealth, doing this yourself, building this up right now, than if you go and try to hire somebody from a different country or somebody that doesn't have any experience and trying to train them up and give them and pay them every single month before you're starting to get income coming back in. So what I would say is take every single one of your leads, audit all of them, find the best ones that are real leads, focus on those, keep doing your calls yourself, keep building your pipeline, make 30 grand, 3 straight months, and then you're allowed to hire somebody.
That's what I told myself, and I'm not. And now I got away from the plan all over again. I haven't.
Well, who's your squad? Who there in the Carolinas do you meet with on a regular basis that is supporting you and is doing really well?
I think you may know or familiar with Patrick Martin. So he's not, I don't talk to him on but I do, that's pretty much kind of met him when he first started, and that's pretty much so that him. Who else do y'all think you may be familiar with? I don't know if you know Terry Berger. Again, I don't really talk to these people that often, but
you need to. You need to have a squad. You need to have your personal board of directors. This is what you're missing. You're missing being around the people that have built this thing, that have gone through all of this, that have been chopping wood, carrying water for a long time. They went through it. They built a successful business. You need to be around these. You need to go to meetup groups. You need to go to find somebody local that is doing some amazing things. That's a couple steps ahead of where you're at right now, and just build that connection. If that means you're splitting deals with them, if that means that you're giving some of your income to them from joint ventures or whatever, do it.
Well,
but you're out there on an island.
Yeah, that's the approach that I took. Basically was I basically just wrote down, who could I partner with in my industry today. So I've started JVing more, and so I'm 100% on board. Here's the thing, right? I moved to Charlotte in the middle of the pandemic, and so I have not really networked up here the way that I should have. And so these guys, they are in Greenville's market, Greenville, South Carolina's market, where I'm in Charlotte's market now. I haven't moved my business to Charlotte because Charlotte is more expensive than, so I don't know if these are limiting beliefs in my head or if
it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, listen, both of those markets are going to be fantastic. I think if you're around people and you've got great enthusiasm and you're making a bunch of calls, and maybe you need their advice on what values or what cash buyers to work with or whatever else, just connect. I mean, most of it's going to be on the phone anyway. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that you go out and you waste a bunch, 2 or 3 hours a week on like coffee or something. It's a text chain. It's you need to find your squad that's going to be doing these amazing things. Find people in any of these groups that'll get on a Zoom on a daily basis or a Google Meetup group and make calls with you. Right? Somebody in here reach out and make that connection. You know what I mean? It could be anywhere. It's just somebody that's very proactive and that is really putting in the work. That's who you need to be around. You know what I mean? And then just find a couple people locally that are just think big and will keep you focused. Okay. You know what I mean? But I think the focus thing is the biggest part. You know what I mean? Focus on what you could do today. Focus on what you can control, right? And focus on the process of building this thing. I don't want you hiring yet because I know what happens if you do. You're going to get distracted and the business is going to go nowhere. And you might do a deal here or there, but it's not long lasting.
Yeah.
30K 3 straight months. I'm telling you, especially in this market. And you're going to be unstoppable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And DM me. I'll be one of your people. DM me.
What's
real Brent Daniels. And the only reason I put real in there is because people keep making these fake ones. I don't know. It's wild. But real Brent Daniels.
Okay, I'm going to DM you.
Good.
Thank you.
I want you to DM me every single day for the next 30 days.
What do you want me to say?
Doesn't matter. Tell me how many calls you made.
Okay.
Send me a inspirational quote. Send me something that was, you know what I mean? Send me something that gets you excited. Send me whatever success you're having. I'd love that.
Okay. Thank you so much again. You've been amazing. I always watch your channel. It's been so much value. Seriously, I can't even say thank you enough. There's guys out here. That's why people are like, can you teach me? And I'm like, it's so many guys doing amazing work like you. I don't want to take my focus and go teach when guys like you exist out here that are just giving out value every single day.
You will, but get your business to $1 million.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And keep at minimum half of that.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
All right, good.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you.
Day.
You too. Awesome. Stephanie in the house. Are you kidding me?
What's up? Hi, Brent. Daniel.
Where are you at right now?
I am in.
Are you in the basement?
No.
Nice.
No. I'm in a property that I have under agreement. So
what?
I'm waiting for,
Come on. Here we go.
Yeah. So
tell me the deal. I love it.
So this was a referral.
Okay.
So people who know me, I love to go roller skating. So this came from someone who I roller skate with, and they're like, "Listen, I got this condo. It's going in foreclosure." And they knew somebody, and we just kind of like went together and said, "Let's do it together." And she was like, "Okay, let's do it." So this is.
It's cutting out. It's what? Say it again, Stephanie. You know the house is bad when there's no reception. That's going to be a good deal. There you go. Kinda. We lost her. Yeah. Stephanie, we'll come back to you once you maybe step outside or something. Great to see her. Locked up a deal. I want to know those details. Dang it. Okay. There is Matt. Can you pull it out? There you go. Angelica did my first JV deal here in LA. Spread was 40K, got 30%, made $12,000. Angelica, you are incredible. Come on. That is absolutely amazing, Angelica. $12,000 LA deal. How about that? Now, Angelica, I'd love to find out if you represented the buyer or the seller on this. Not represented, but if you like source the deal yourself, or if you found the buyer for it. That's awesome. Congratulations. You can't do deals in LA. You can't do deals in California. It's impossible. Angelica can. She never heard the news. Felicia. Would a fire damage house still have equity, or would it lose all the value because of the damage? It just depends on how much of the property is damaged. Does it need to be bulldozed? Does it need to be taken totally down and it's just the lot value? So what I would do is look at how much of the square footage is salvageable and how much of it needs to totally be gutted and renovated. And typically you want to go, just depending on where you're at in the country, but $125 to $150. I mean, it could be more in some of the in California, but at least $125 to $150 a square foot to renovate the fire damage part. So if it's like 500 square feet, just do the math, and then the rest of the house will be between $40 and $50 a square foot to renovate, which is crazy. It used to be $25, but everything's gone bananas. This little mic is wild. I like twisting it though. I like this thing. Lucas, how do I find investors? ttpinsider.com. And I'll tell you, but I'm just saying for this download, there is there's a download called the Cash Buyer Pack. All right, Cash Buyer Pack. And it's really, really solid on showing you exactly how to find the 100 top cash buyers. If you have PropStream, if you have batch leads, you can easily find the cash buyers in your area. It literally lists them in the area. And so you can pull it really easily that way. You can go on LinkedIn right now and type in your area and type in real estate investor and reach out there. I made one connection with Josiah Grimes, who was business partnered with Jamil Damji, and sold him like 100 deals, right? From one conversation that I had from LinkedIn when I was first starting to like build momentum in my business. You can go down to and find out where the foreclosure auctions are, whether it's at the court or if it's at like a trustee office or an attorney's office or whatever. And you can go find the people that are bidding on those deals, or just Google it, bid at auction service, bid at foreclosure auction service, and have a conversation with those people. They have incredible cash buyers. You can Google right now and go to hard money lenders, right? And call the hard money lenders and say, hey, listen, I've got some great off-market deals. I'd love to sell them to your clients, your customers. And what's the best way to do that? Do I send it to you and you send it out to them? Is there somewhere that you post these deals? Do you put them in an email? What do you do? Those are some ideas right there, but download the Cash Buyer Pack, and it has a ton of those. So you could go on Zillow and you look for all the properties that are staged and renovated, and you call up all of those listing agents, not the ones that sponsor that on Zillow, but the actual listing agent. Realtor.com is a little bit easier because it'll give you that. And call those agents and say, hey, listen, what a fantastic remodel you have here. I actually have a deal around the corner, or I'm working on a deal around the corner. Wanted to see if your buyer was still buying and what they're looking for. So it's more important than ever, Lucas, to talk to the buyers and find out who's buying and what they're buying and at what prices. Because if you can reverse engineer it, it's going to go a lot smoother. And I was always taught that early on, that you find the cash buyers and then find out what they're looking for and go get those. And we haven't had to because cash buyers were buying everything, but we're now back to that time. And we'll have a whole show on it, and we'll do something special with that. But there you go. We got a 2-parter in the house. Frank Gonzalez. I have a floor cleaning business, and 2 months ago, a client called me for carpet cleaning. She sent me pictures, and I suggested to her that it's best to replace the carpet. Beautiful. I feel like there's going to be something under the carpet. No. She mentioned she wanted to sell it. Therefore, she didn't want to put money into it. I went to clean it, quote unquote, clean it. I built rapport with her, put it under contract, and sold the contract for $13,000. Frank. I am telling you, man, when you have quality conversations with property owners, you win. You have quality conversations with distressed property owners, you win. There's 11 million vacant properties, single family properties that have been vacant over a year, according to the 2020 census. There are, I don't know, a couple 100,000 pre-foreclosures right now. A ton of people behind on taxes. There's millions of properties that are in rough shape. There's one thing stopping you from getting those deals. Only one thing, one hurdle, one challenge. And that is you just haven't talked to them yet. That's it. You just haven't talked to them yet. You haven't had a quality conversation with them. So what's the best and fastest way to be able to do that? Find an ugly house, get the phone numbers, batchskiptracing.com, call them up, and ask them if they would consider an offer. And then from there's only 6 responses that you're going to get. Yes, they do want to sell. No, they don't want to sell. Maybe they do in the future. How much will you give me? Who are you? And how'd you get my number? There's only 6 responses. Every response that you get is mixed into one of those 6 responses. Learn how to respond to those responses, and you're unstoppable. And then stay consistent, like Tamara or Tamara. And stay in the pocket and don't get distracted by that shiny object of flipping a house right now or doing whatever. And you're just building a business that's every single day, building a pipeline of distressed property owners that you've had quality conversations with. And then you close and close and close. Frank, we celebrate you. Hit the like button for Frank. Do we have a tally on our property? Who won? 1 or 2? All right. We're just about to announce the winner of the property that wins. Was it number 1 where Batman lives, or number 2 where Iron Man lives? Which one is it? I'm going with number 2. Yeah. I'll tell you what, people like it modern. I like the sharp lines. Be real interesting. You should see the pictures of the inside of that crazy Gotham castle. It's opulent. I'll tell you that. Yeah, it looks like a movie house. I'm sure it's in a movie. In property waiting for buyers. Oh, Stephanie's about to sell this. Oh gosh. Yeah, not buyer, but sellers who want to be friends with you. Love it. Listen, sell that deal, Steph. Sell that deal. I want it sold in the next 32 minutes so that we could do it before the show closes. All right? Chris, you asked great questions, by the way. I really enjoy you in the Facebook group and here. So thank you for the support, and thanks for getting in there and really digging in and going under just surface level questions, which surface level questions are great, but I love the questions he asks. I have a lead for a lady that has no active phone. Every time I go by, she tells me she wants to sell, but not now. House is trashed and she will have to sell. Any tips on how to proceed? Keep bringing her food. Seriously. Bring her donuts, bring her cupcakes, bring her burritos, bring her whatever. Just keep stopping by. You're just going to have to build that relationship there. And when the time comes, the opportunity will be there. But every time you go, you're ready to make a decision on this. What needs to happen? A great question. What needs to happen for you to make a decision on when you want to sell the property? What needs to happen for us to do business together? Right? Great questions to ask. Andrew Smith, there he is. I get a notice of default list sent to me every month through my other job. Is this useful, or is that similar to pre-foreclosure situation? Yeah, that's the same one. It'll be the same one. Typically, they're getting a lot of calls. I mean, listen, try to call them, try to text them, try to get a hold of them. If you can't, you got to go to the door, because a lot of those people are, their heads in their turtle shell. So, yeah, Andrew, for sure. Do your best to get a hold of them. Handwritten notes work pretty well. Just sending out a bunch of handwritten notes, these pre-foreclosures that, are kind of unique little tiny notes so people open them. Sometimes you can crack the code that way. Nick Heat, seems like cold calling is saturated in the Las Vegas market. Everybody has called already. Advice: keep calling. Remember, it's a timing issue. It's not like when people call, the property owners aren't like, oh, well, yes, let me write down your information. And when the time comes, it's going to, blah, blah, blah. Right. Like, so are pay-per-click, costs. So are direct mail. There's a ton of mail. There's, a ton of opportunities for people to, go after these properties. I mean, it's public knowledge. But what I would say is people that have really good skills win. And you develop that by the reps. And so if you keep getting shut down, then I know you're getting a ton of calls about your property. It's super annoying, but I really am excited about this neighborhood, and I just wanted to see if you were ready to consider an offer. Whatever. Start switching it up. Start playing around with it. Start figuring it out. Start not sounding like everybody else. And remember, Nick, let's be honest. 90% of people go out and hire a VA, a virtual assistant, to make these calls from a different country. They're all over the place. Philippines, India, Central America, South America, Mexico, everywhere, right? They have people making these calls because it's relatively cheap to have people make calls. I mean, you could get them for $3 to $5 an hour. Doesn't work. You might get a deal every now and then. But for the most part, they don't have the skills that you would. And you making the calls is always going to be more effective, and you're going to have a unique advantage. But if you're just going to go, you know what, I'm going to start calling and I'm going to just hire a VA for $4 an hour, I wouldn't waste your money. I just wouldn't. I'd use a different strategy. And I would just call yourself. How are you handling highest and best situations with multiple offers at or above ask price? It depends on the situation. It depends on the relationship that we have built. If they give us the price, if we've built a good rapport and they've given us a good price, I mean, they'll let us know the price. And I won't even say rapport. I think rapport is kind of gross. I think that relationship is better. Because rapport kind of makes me feel like you're just doing it so that you can, schmooze them, charm them up. But if they're cool, if we've built a real solid relationship, then I need to know the price. What's the highest price that you got? And I'll see if I can beat it. If they're just like, no, I'm not going to let you know, I'm not offering. I'm not wasting my time. There's no way you're going to be the highest. Because there's too many people out there that have a philosophy of locking up 10 deals to do one. They'll go bananas. They'll go close to retail. It's not, what I would say is this. I would say, you know what? I'm not going to be your highest price. This is the best price that I can do. I'd love you to get the most that you can for this property and get it closed with a a company that has a great reputation and you know that they're going to close. And my suggestion is I would ask for whoever they use as their title and escrow officer and have a call with them to make sure that they close deals before you select anybody, me included, or closing attorney, depending on what state you're in. And, but here's my price. If for some reason they can't close, give me a call. Give me a call. I'll be here. I'll be ready. And I know that I can close at this price. I understand my industry and I understand people are going to try to throw out whatever it is to get you to commit. And typically they're not able to close, but hopefully they can. So if you decide that you're going to make that decision to go with somebody else, that's fine. But let me be in backup position. Is that fair enough? That's what I do. Ellie Valentine, what a great name. Do you make offers on properties with high back taxes? As long as it has equity, I'm making offers. You know what I mean? So yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll make it if it has equity. Just make sure that what you offer is less than what they owe. And that's basically the equity position. In case anybody's confused, real quick before we go on here, right? So you've got your price. You've got what their debt, at whatever they owe on it. And it's just got to be positive down here, their cash or even. Even's fine, but I don't think that's the even sign. Just make sure that your price minus their debt is positive or break even for them. If they owe too much, then maybe there's something creative that you could do. Or maybe you can negotiate that debt. But if it's property tax debt, it's not going to happen. Yeah. Typically income tax debt as well. But I believe, I had a conversation. Apparently, like after 10 years of a IRS lien, it falls off. So calling them at 9.5 years is an interesting strategy. Somebody can fact check that for me. That was what Dimitri Von Kamp told me. And he's been doing it a while, so I trust it. But maybe that's not always the case. We buy houses in Greenville. There you go. Hi, Brent. Been wholesaling 4 years full time. I know how to reach the next level, but I keep hitting roadblocks on the way there. Is this Tamara? Who was on? Because she was in Greenville. If not, there's a couple. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is her. She was doing it 4 years. We had that conversation. Lewis. Hey, Brent, I have a deal under contract that I thought was a no-brainer. Blasted it to my cash buyers and investor-friendly realtors. My closing was reduced 2 weeks, and I think one of my buyers went behind my back. Haven't sold it and only have until the 10th. Any suggestions? Yeah, I mean, make sure that your seller knows that they're committed to you contractually. And next is call them. Don't blast to your cash buyer database. Call all of them and get it sold. Call and call and call. You need to put as much effort into selling your deal as you do into getting your deal now. And it's a bummer. So so much easier just blasting things out. But yeah, call them. Call up all your cash buyers, get it sold. Renee, hey Brent, long time Rhino here. That's right. Happy to hear that you're the new head Rhino in charge. HRIC, let's go. Yeah, it is. It's an absolute dream come true and a privilege, and one I take very seriously, and I'm very excited and enthusiastic about. Wholesaling Inc. Changed my life. Tom Kroll, who owned it before, has changed my life dramatically. And the baton has been passed, and I take it seriously. So thank you. Love you, Renee. Great to see you. Carlos, hey, Brent. Closed on my first fix and flip about a month ago. Getting ready to close on my second fix and flip this Monday. Come on. Amazing, Carlos. That is incredible. Congratulations. Let us know what you made. You don't have to, but it's always exciting. Congratulations. 14 bell rings, by the way, guys. Hit the like button for Carlos. Hit the like button. Let's open up this to the algorithm for YouTube so that we can bring in more like-minded people to squad up. Let's go. Swayam, hey Brent, I am trying to put 5 offers every day on the MLS properties after watching your agent videos. 60 plus days on market, under 400,000 in Phoenix. Any advice? You need to call every single agent every single day and build a relationship with them. Don't just send in don't just send in those offers. Call, text, be all over them. Because agents are used to people just sending in things, and then they select the people that they like based on the conversations that they had and the confidence that they have that people will get it closed. Get them. Liana Starr, another cool name. If an agent tells you she doesn't like investors assigning the contract, what would be best to do? Ask her why. She's been burned. Right? She's been burned before by people that lock up deals that can't get them sold. So I would have a conversation, say, that's one of my exit strategies. Another one is I'm going to get it closed, but make sure that you can close those deals. Make sure they're real deals. Make sure that they're at a significant enough discount that you can close it no matter what. Agents don't like investors because agents want to be investors. They're just scared. It's the truth. They're just scared of whatever. They're scared that their business will crumble if they switch tracks. They're scared that that we're so bold and we go out there and put in offers on things that they feel is like insulting. Agents don't understand that the buyers control everything. Buyers control value, not the market, not the economy, not the listing agent, not appraisers, not lenders, not the government. Ready, willing, and able buyers rule everything in real estate. They determine value. If nobody wants to buy something, then it has no value. It's just is what it is. Alan, Brent, how can I make my deals spreads as big as your biceps? They're not that big. I just wear tight shirts. I just wear baby Gap shirts. I'm actually only 5'6", 137 pounds. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's hilarious. Ramon, hey Brent, thank you for all that you do. My question is, can you explain what is due diligence? Thanks in advance. Love your energy. That is a very broad word, but I think that I know the context, and I'll play around here, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or right. Now, due diligence typically is you want to figure out the value of a property. Well, due diligence truly is the pre-qualifying, right? The pre-qualifying on the property, condition, timeline, motivation, price. And then from there, you can go and determine what a good offer price would be. So the due diligence is looking at the comparables, understanding, okay, this is what it would sell for, totally fixed up. And so it's like this, right? So and we're coming out with a standalone video tomorrow, I think. But ARV means it's looking good. Property is looking good. Okay, that's the ARV. It's totally fixed up after repair value. This is if it's looking perfect. What does it sell for? And then what you want to do is you want to times that by 70%. Okay, 70%, and this is the profit and closing costs that are involved with buying a property. And then you want to minus that by the repair costs. Okay. We'll put up a repair cost calculator here in a second. You could take a screenshot or you could just download it at ttpinsider.com. And then from there, this will typically be the wholesale price. From there, what you'll do is you'll subtract your assignment fee. And that could be 10, that could be 20, that could be 15, that could be whatever you want. And then that is what is called the max allowable offer. So that is your offer price to the property owner, is the max allowable offer. Okay? So the due diligence helps you figure out this. Your due diligence helps you figure out this. So if you have the ARV and you have the repair costs, you can do a pretty good job of negotiating. And there's your repair cost estimator. Take a screenshot. This one is still good. Yeah. Easy. And they go into 3 buckets. Easy, it needs work, and wow, this is bad. And those are the buckets. And guys, listen, markets change. If you need to adjust that a little bit because you're in a market where the labor and the construction costs are higher, then just adjust that. But it'll give you a good baseline. And I don't want you to become contractors. I don't want you to like go in there and like line item everything that needs to happen. Brent, if you had to restart from scratch, what would be your first move in this market? TTP Mason, great to see you, buddy. Same thing. Ugly houses. I would go strong after ugly houses everywhere. I'd go for the ones that are listed on the market. I'd go to Zillow and look at all their for sale by owners that have ugly houses. I would go and find all the off market properties that are just driving around, and I would get Deal Machine and call all of them and just go and go and go and go and go and go and just have as many conversations with them as possible and see who really needs to sell in this market. Because I'm telling you, it's beautiful. You know, it's really interesting. The people that are now have been waiting on the sidelines to sell their properties because they're just waiting for the market to go up, or they just haven't been ready. They were getting a ton of offers really quickly. Now they're not. Or what's really happening right now that's really screwing people up, that's really kind of throwing like it's like the clog in the pipe in your pipeline, is you're going to have sellers getting locked up by people in this market that are trying to close 1 out of 10 deals. And then they'll just keep them under contract and just grind them. And they're going to have a really bad experience, and they're going to drag them on for like 90 days before they can get out of it. And then they'll get released, and then they'll get realistic if they actually need to sell the property. Matt, JV to vacant lot on Friday that was going to tax sale for an $8,000 profit. Here we go, Matt Berry. That is amazing. Matt, congratulations. $8,000 profit on a vacant land. Vacant lots. That's awesome. Question from Stephanie. Brent, what is your method for peeling away from those buyers who will never do business with you, but want to be your friend? I know this is a problem for you. The buyers who will never do business with me. Well, all the buyers have potential to do business with me. The only buyers that don't are the ones that, you know, aren't real buyers. So, I mean, if they're looking for good deals, buyers love the good deals. I think what you're kind of talking about is like people that want all the deals that turn you into a cash buyer employee, a CBE. Don't be a cash buyer employee, right? Don't just work for 1 or 2 buyers, work for a bunch of them. You know, have a ton of opportunities to sell your deals, because if there's only one that you're working with, they'll grind you down. They'll get you lower on your prices, and you'll get half the profits that you should. Primal Eskimo in the house. Where you been? Nice. Direct to seller or versus direct to agent broker. It's or. I mean, it's and, not or. Do both. Absolutely do both. You have time. Call them both. See which one's working best for you. You can get incredible deals with agents. You can get incredible deals direct to seller. I would do absolutely both. Listen, it's still talking to people. It still falls under the umbrella of talking to people, which is great. So, yeah, go for it. Do both. I don't think you have to do either or. M. Mateen. We have 4 MLS contracts. Today, last day to give earnest money. We have one seller that wants 2 homes. Seller wants to sell all or none. How do we go about this? Okay, good. Earnest, well, If you've got 4 MLS contracts that you can't close, you cancel them. Just cancel them. All right. We have one seller that wants 2 homes. I assume that you have a seller that wants to sell 2 of their properties. Great. Get them both at significant discounts. Don't do, oh, well, I'll give you more on this one, but I need a bigger discount on that one. No, they have to be both smoking deals, and it doesn't matter. Great. You can lock them both up. As long as they're deals, you can sell them. You can sell them to the same buyer. You can sell them to different buyers. I'd put them on 2 different contracts, though. I mean, talk to your, talk to a real estate attorney if you need to. But if it were my company, I'd put it in 2 different contracts. So I'm more flexible on which buyers I could sell to. But I'm not a contract attorney. That's cute. That's awesome. By the way, let's ring the bell for my team. Here we go. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. It opens up this to everybody, and it's awesome. And you're going to find amazing people. Don't forget to subscribe. If we're getting you closer to your goals, if you feel like this channel gets you closer to your goals of being an unstoppable rhinoceros of a real estate wholesaler and investor, hit that subscribe button. What if they owe money or have a loan on it? Can you explain where I deduct or add that when doing ARV? Yeah, absolutely. So listen, here's the deal. Here's the beautiful thing about real estate is, let's just say that you make an offer. So we did this whole thing, right? We went ARV, and let's say that the ARV is 300, and then we did 70% of that, and then we minus the repair costs, we minus our assignment fee, and our max allowable offer is now $150,000. Okay, but they owe $111,000. Okay, that means when it closes, this is the price. This is what they owe. And they'll get the remainder. They'll get $39,000 in cash when it closes, when the deal is done. So you look at the price that you're willing to give them, and then minus what they owe, and that's what their cash, that's what they're walking away with. So if they have loans, it just comes out of that $150,000. So just make sure that they don't owe $250,000, and the best that you can offer is $150,000. Because if that's the case, then you have to do something creative, if it makes sense. But for a cash offer, they have to have equity. They have to have motivation, and they have to have equity. They got to want speed and convenience and sacrifice price. Put that up one more time, Matt. Oh, Carlos is going bananas. Holy cow. Brent, we made $50,000 on the first flip, $40,000 on the second flip, looking for a wholesale deal to reach over that 100K mark. You better sneak in another 11,000 to get there. And I say 11,000 because you said over 100K mark. So there you go. Here we go. Yes. I love it. Congratulations. 100K. Find that deal. There's one. I know that you have it in your pipeline. I know that you could squeeze out another 11K. Absolutely. Yeah, I do. Right here, guys. Sellers get 2. There's 3 parts to the sale. Speed, convenience, price. Speed, convenience, price. If they want speed and convenience, wholesale. If they want convenience and price, it's innovation. If they want speed and price, then it's creative or putting it on the MLS. Oh, we got a 2-parter coming down to the last 6 minutes of the show. Thank you guys for sticking around. Incredible questions. I love bringing people on live. That was really cool, Andra. Thank you. Rainbow Skittle, how do you make sure you have a good deal? Is that the first part of the question? What's the second part? So, that's a 1-part question then. Oh, okay. It's a 2-question, not connect. Okay. How do you make sure that you have a good deal? You talk to a cash buyer and they say, yes, they want to buy it. Deal or no deal is the toughest thing. So in the beginning, Rainbow Skittle, you want to have somebody that understands values and understands what's happening. That's why if you talk to the cash buyers beforehand, you can find out what they're buying and at what prices. And then you could go to them and say, hey, listen, I got this deal. What do you think I should buy it at? Right? That is your backup. Or get a mentor in the area that'll really help you and review those deals. Or join a mentorship. You know what I mean? That has people that review all your deals to make sure that you're doing it. But most people just, do one of those things. But it's really easy to be able to find somebody that is buying in your market and run it by them and see what prices that they would go for with that property. Okay. Number 2. How do you administer the cash to the seller after the transaction is complete? I'm going to show you this. I love these questions. Rainbow Skittle. This is great. We're getting into some things. So this is beautiful. Okay. This house represents title company. This is the seller. This is the buyer. And here is you looking awesome. Very strong. Rainbow Skittle. I saw that you had some hair there. That's great. There you are. And so the buyer's cash goes to the title company. All right. The title company then pays off all the debts and the remainder goes to the seller. And then at close, whatever your assignment fee, the title company gives to you. Oh, there you are. There we are. Very strong. So, it's the title company or the closing attorney. Depends on if you need an attorney in your state, but typically it's going to be the title and escrow company that they handle everything. They go and they get all the payoffs for all the debts. They put it into what's called a settlement statement. And then the settlement statement, it shows all the debit and credits, right? All the money's in and the money's going out for the seller and the buyer. And then at the bottom, it'll show, okay, the seller owed this amount of money. The buyer brought in this amount of money. And then at the bottom here is the $26,751 that the seller is going to walk away with. So that is how everything gets paid off. Yeah. There's an actual 2-parter to finish the show. All right. Austin Worthington. I love it. When virtually wholesaling, what do you I was laughing because there's just been amazing names today. When virtually wholesaling, what do you tell the seller when you have to have buyers walk through? I know to pay someone to go there to walk them through like an agent. Okay. But how do I tell them, hey, I'm having someone look at the property. Don't talk to them without saying it like that. First of all, it's the buyers that you have to train. Right. It's the buyers that are like, hey, listen, when you go to the property, go check out the property. My guy's going to be there. And all discussions with the seller go through me or my guy. And then you tell the seller, listen, I need to bring everybody through. I need to bring my network of cash buyers. I need to bring whoever your person is and your staff to come check out the property, make sure in the inspection period to make sure that we're moving forward with it. I need to bring my financial partners. I need to bring the cash buyer network. I need to bring contractors or inspectors or whatever it is. And you say, listen, this is as is. I'm not going to ask you to fix things, but I need to go in and just make sure. I don't know. I'm not a contractor. I'm not the money guy. I'm the guy that works with you on the deal. So they'll go through, they'll verify everything. And then from there, we'll get it closed. Sound great? Okay. Fair enough. Okay. And that's how you do it. So just have a good conversation with them. Say, okay, in a couple of days, I need to have a circus of people are going to come through and check out the property. Okay. Awesome. One more comment. Naomi. She's got a cat as well. All right. Sending love and energy from Israel. Just got started wholesaling in the U.S. Love your channel. Thank you for the motivation and energy. Well, I'll celebrate you just getting started. Here we go. Congratulations, Naomi. We have a lot of incredible people incredible students of mine. Also, just people that I speak to on a regular basis in Israel that are absolutely crushing. There is no excuse. They're doing it from Israel, and they're doing incredible amount of business. And if they can do it, so can you guys. So that is it. Let's bring up the crew. Let's bring everybody up. Hondra, come on up. Matt, come on up. Daniel, come on up. We want to say that we love you guys. Remember this. Keep your house clean, right? Protect your health and increase your value to the world, and you'll live an incredible life. Thank you for joining us on the Progress Not Perfection show. Go out there, make some progress, and I'll see you next week. Love you guys.